Noah, where are we?
I don't know.
That's a big jackhammer. Look at that. Stand next to that. Stand next to that. That's a big jackhammer.
No, it's not that big.
It's 10 feet long.
It's longer.
Right here. There it is.
What? It's big?
Yeah.
Can you get the bucket too and everything?
Yeah.
This.
Yep.
This is like brand new. Wait, how much is this?
That's a DAH. It's a nice machine. There's a little Takeuchi. When there's weeds growing up through it, I gotta look at it. I gotta ask this guy about this. TL130. If there's grass growing up through, that's for me. What are you doing there, bub? You got little shells there?
Kelly, I just do not do that.
It's a clear rock.
This? Is that?
Look, you can see right through it.
What?
Da-da-da-dun, 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 da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Alright guys, so I just bought this, I think it's around a 2003, 2004 John Deere 80C. This is a mid-size excavator. It's right between my Mini Excavator and the larger excavator, the Samsung. I've been wanting a mid-size excavator for a while. For those of you that have been following me for a while, you know an excavator is my favorite machine by far. I love operating excavators, and if there's one machine on a job that I could only have, it would be a mid-size excavator with a blade on it. So I actually bought this in New Jersey, so it's quite a ways away from me. This came with a tilt bucket, which is around 4 feet wide. And the guy that had it before me, I'm pretty sure he had it for its whole life. And its only purpose was to construct golf courses. So what I'm thinking is that it didn't really see a lot of heavy abuse. It doesn't seem like it. I don't think it ever saw any rocks. It was pretty much just dirt and sand. This tilt bucket has a coupler. It's a Wainwright coupler, which I'm not going to keep on there. But it's got a massive amount of play. Every pin in it is completely shot, and if there's any bushings, those are shot too. And it's leaking a little bit. So it's got that play, and then it's just overall got a lot of play in it. I don't have an immediate use for this bucket, although it would be nice to have. I can think of a few instances where it would be nice, but I have a few jobs lined up for this machine already, and this is not going to be of any use in those jobs, not that I know of anyways. So this Wainwright coupler is nice, but it's not what I want. I want a pin grabber set up, and so I think what I'm going to actually do is leave this coupler on here and then actually use another coupler that can link up with this one. So there will kind of be two couplers when I use this bucket only. So it'll be maybe a little bit weird when I use this bucket, but obviously there's no teeth on it. I'm not going to be digging through rocks, so that I don't see putting a lot of stress on it. So I may or may not get to rebuilding this whole setup here. I got a lot of other work to do. So on this machine, the things that it needs is going to be, first of all, that cylinder weeps. It's got a slow leak. It's not terrible. It's not like an immediate need, but I want to get it done. I already got the seals for it. The tracks, since this machine hasn't been used in a while, the guy actually replaced these tracks like a few years ago, and they don't have any use on them, and it just sat. So you can see the tracks are like kinked up. So hopefully just moving this machine around a little bit here and there will kind of free those up, because it is a very rough ride right now because of that. So I may actually just put some oil on those tracks that are kinked up on the chain anyways. But you can see sprocket's in good condition. The chain is in very good condition. The pads or the shoes, they're in very good condition. They're almost brand new. So this machine is a little bit nicer than what I usually get, because it pretty much is ready for a job right now. But there is some things that I do want to do, because I want this machine to be nice. So I want to do some cosmetic work, which usually you guys know that I don't really care that much for that kind of stuff. I want to make it functional. But since it's already functional, let's go ahead and do things like this panel is dented, which that's part of the whole cab, so you can't just replace that. There's supposed to be a panel that covers this area right here. You can see the remnants of it. It's just a plastic piece that covers up this area, makes it look a lot better. I got that. This part right here was dented in. I don't know how that happened, honestly. There's no damage right here, but somehow it got damaged right there. I got that panel too, so we'll replace that. This panel right here is all dented in. You can see it's not that great, so let's try to fix this whole area. The other things that it needs, I have 0 machines that have air conditioning and only 1 that has heat. This should have working air conditioning, but the blower motor doesn't work. I don't know what it's going to take, but I do want to tear into that and figure out what that's going to need, because I want this machine to be comfortable, and I do love air conditioning almost more than I love heat. The summertime heat kills me, but in the wintertime when it's cold, I don't mind at all. So it does have a few other leaks, which I don't know exactly where they're coming from. I do see somewhat of a leak right here, and it's leaking past the swing motor and leaking down the turntable. So I got to figure out what that is. Overall, this machine is actually extremely clean. I got this from a place that bought it from a guy. They didn't ever use it. They just bought it from the guy and then sold it to me. I don't know if they cleaned it or if it was just already that clean, but man, this thing is like the cleanest machine I've ever had. Everything is just really nice and clean in here. There's just like no oil, no grease, no dirt anywhere. There's no mud. Look at that engine. How clean that is. That's just amazing. This has got an Isuzu engine in it. Look at that muffler. It's like brand new. This thing has 12,000 hours, or just under 12,000 hours. But you would think that a machine like this would be just beat up with that many hours. But it's not. It's just, it was just really well taken care of. Minus the dents and stuff, but I don't know, maybe that happened just before the guy sold it. So inside the cab, you know, this dash panel is all scratched up, but for 12,000 hours, 11,800 hours, it smokes for the first second, which most diesels do, and then it's cleared up. Zero smoke. It's got all the glass. All the glass is in good condition, actually. Even the seals on everything are in good condition. One thing I don't really care for is the auxiliary hydraulics are on a pedal, which I'm not really a fan of. I might check into getting them converted into the joystick, but it might just be too much work. I may not worry about it, not right now anyways. But like I said, the blower motor doesn't work. This has a display, and you can hear things clicking when you turn it on. And this works, although it's in Celsius right now. I don't know how to change that back, but the radio doesn't work, which, you know, it's one of those things where normally I wouldn't care about this stuff, but I want this machine to be nice because I think I'm going to see more use from this machine than any other machine that I have. Like I said, I have a bunch of projects coming up for this, and I've been looking for one for a while, but I've been taking my time because I wanted to get a good deal. I definitely wasn't looking for a John Deere. I'm not a huge fan of them, but this was a really good deal. I bought this machine for $16,500. I got it delivered all the way from New Jersey for another $700. So you really can't go wrong with that kind of number. This is a perfect size machine. It's around 16,000 pounds. I probably would have preferred that it had rubber tracks on it, but I could always put those on if I really want. And these are much more expensive, and usually people like these more. And these are pretty wide too, which I really like, because that's about as wide as my big excavator, the 130. So that should give it a little flotation. The tracks are like an inch wider than the blade on both sides, but I'm okay with that. This blade is like almost 8 feet wide. So this is a pretty wide machine for its size. All the pins and bushings in this machine are really good, except for on this quick coupler. I checked out the boom, the stick, and the bottom of the stick, and everything is really tight, which I'm really surprised about. Like I said, I think the guy took really good care of this. Greased it up every day, changed the fluids all the time. I think we got a winner here. So from the same company that I bought this machine from, they had this bucket sitting around, and it should fit this machine. This was for a Cat 308, which should have identical attachments for that machine. So I got this for $300, and it just needs a little bit of welding. This plate on the top is cracked here, and that one's cracked, and it needs a tooth. I'll just replace all the teeth on it. but this is a very, very heavy duty bucket. It's got 1/2 inch or maybe even 5/8 steel on the side here, and then same thing down here. This whole side here is reinforced, and then it's got the side cutters, which is like 3/4 of an inch. And then on the bottom, it's got 1-inch plates going across, or 1-inch bar for reinforcements. So this is a very, very heavy duty bucket. And like I said, for $300, you really can't go wrong. I think a 36-inch bucket is a little bit too wide for this machine, but we shall see. I figured before I go spending thousands of dollars on buckets, I want to see what this will do. Maybe this could be an everyday bucket, maybe not. I was thinking more of a 30-inch bucket. That should be about perfect for this machine. Because I have a 24-inch bucket from my Midi Excavator. It's a little 35 John Deere, and that's perfect. So it may be that a 36-inch is fine for this. I also have a 36-inch on my big machine, and it seems like I could probably go a little bit wider on that bucket. So maybe this will work. I don't know. We'll see. Around here we have nothing but rocks, so it may or may not work. We'll see. But for $300 and a half an hour of welding, I think this is a pretty good test. Before I go buying any other buckets, we could test this. So enough explaining about this machine. I think the first thing I want to do is get this Wainwright bucket and coupler off. I got a quick coupler for here, so let's put that on. It doesn't have quick connects, so this attachment must have been in the attachment for a long time, if not the whole life of this machine. This is 1/2 inch hose. It goes down 1/4 inch here. I think for right now, because I don't have the quick couplers that I need, I'm just going to cap and plug this here and then take this off, put the coupler on, and put the new bucket on.
Over if you're gonna have fireworks, sorry.
Okay, I just wanted to test that before I let the bucket down. Careful. 2 pins.
Where do I put it? not
got it,
fully
right?
No, it's not fully out.
Wiggle it. I guess you're cleaning it, huh?
Yeah. What do I clean it with?
Well, first thing you're gonna do is clean it with a paper towel, get all the excess stuff off. Then we'll take some brake parts cleaner and get it all cleaned up.
Heavy.
Alright. Now give it another wipe down. Boy, I bet you won't drop that pin next time, huh?
No.
Here, I'll tell you what. Let's clean it off the best you can like that, and we'll leave it for now. I don't even know if I'm gonna need that anyways.
Well, yeah, you have other pins in the bucket.
Well, I'm putting a quick coupler on, and that has pins too. But I gotta teach you a lesson, right?
Well, yeah. That's pretty fast. That thing must be heavy. Oh, that's easy.
That's good. No. You don't need to take it out. Just leave it in there.
Oh, yeah, because you're just gonna... Oh, no. Oh, I just got grease on me. I just cleaned grease off of me.
Keep your feet out from underneath there, just in case. That's a heavy pin.
So that's about 50 pounds. position was perfect.
So this is just a manual quick coupler I got for 500 bucks. It took me 3/4 of a day to go get it, but for $500, yeah, I want a hydraulic one, but right now it's not really set up to have hydraulics for both the thumb and quick coupler, hydraulic quick coupler. So we're just going to deal with this one for now. Maybe 6 months, a year down the road, we'll get a hydraulic one, but for right now, I don't want to go crazy with this machine yet.
Yeah, now it's going on. What? No, it isn't. Backside is not in. Now it's in. That got it to go in. It is now in. Hey, this. Look, this bucket isn't even meant for this type. Well, it's meant for this type, but it says it's meant for a cat.
Yeah. Well, you want to try it out?
Sure. I thought it had the pole over.
No, that's skid steers.
Where's the key?
You can turn the throttle up a little bit.
Where's the throttle?
It's that dial right there.
What?
Right there.
This?
Yep. Hey, hold on. Let's put your seatbelt on. Let's be safe about this.
I don't know where the seatbelt is. Yes.
There we go. I see in this is side to side. I'll just have to shim out the quick coupler. That's about it. Other than that, this thing works great. And that's a genuine, that's an actual OEM cat quick coupler too. So by putting that on, I can put any kind of cat attachments on it now. No problem. It's not like my other excavator where I put this quick coupler on and then it was kind of just a funny thing on there. Now that this is on, without having to modify anything, now I can put any kind of Cat 308 attachments on there. That's what I was looking for. But yeah, side-to-side play, there's none. Pins and bushings are good in everything. Stick, both sides of the boom, well, both sides of the stick too. Very tight machine for 12,000 hours. Even that bucket is good. I see no problems with that bucket. There's just nothing but rocks here, so it's gonna dig like that. It's not exactly the fastest, but that's just because there's a lot of rocks in here. Now fill it all in.
Can you move your GoPro thing? I don't want to hit
I guess we'll let you slide on not putting your feet on the pedal since you can't reach them.
I can't.
Nah, don't. It'd be more dangerous for you to do that. Just use your hands. Use your feet. I'm kidding. got liners, so I can rebuild the engine pretty easy. But I don't think it's going to need it for a while. All right, that's good. You're not going to want to go back to Farming Simulator now. It's just not going to be good enough. What do you think, bub?
It's cool.
It's cool? That's it?
Yeah. I like it.
So that was definitely a tight squeeze. Not a lot of room up there. Well, I'm just glad it's in here because I was like an inch from not being able to make it. I suppose I could have probably turned it around and had the blade on the backside and then I could put the bucket down further, but the goal is to be able to pull it into there. I still got this machine sitting here mainly because I had to order a new head for this, and then the new head needed work, so it's at the machine shop. So we're waiting on that right now for this, but I would really like to get this out of here. But anyways, let's fix, you know, this thing is ready to go on a job right now, honestly, but I did order a thumb, so I want to put that on before I do the job. I kind of need it. And while we're waiting for that, let's just do some cosmetic work. Why not? Cabin air filter? Maybe. I thought there was another cabin air filter inside though. Maybe there's two. Definitely a little bit of mice activity in there. So I think the only way to make the new piece fit here is going to be to bend this out, bend that out a little bit. There's a little bit of a dent right there. The whole thing is dented in right there a little bit. That's the actual frame. I don't know if that's going to make a difference, and this cover will probably cover that up. So I also need to bend that bracket that way. Let's just put the new piece up there and see exactly what it's going to need. And I know there's a lot of John Deere haters on my channel. I'm not exactly a fan of them, but look, what does that say? I ordered that directly from the John Deere dealership, and they gave me a Hitachi part. So Hitachi and John Deere are pretty much the same. That's looking better. Okay, so I just realized that this bracket needs to go up like 1.5 inches, 1 3/4, and this one actually needs to go down and over. So we got quite a bit of bending to do here. I don't want to break something because the glass is right here, and then the cab, I don't want to leak all over the place, so I got to be careful. Not a chance. That did it. Now I think the main problem we're going to have is that this box here is shifted a little bit this way. So we got to shift it back this way somehow. Then, yeah. Dumb ways to die. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get it from a distance.
Did it pop out?
No, but I think I've exceeded the 2,000-pound capacity of that thing.
No.
Man, that is like almost perfect. I can't believe I got that. That was dented in like 3/4 of an inch. Right now, it's probably only about a 1/16 or so. So let's just go a little bit more. I'm doing this from a distance because I don't want something to fly back. Good. Yep, that was the limit. Luckily, there was nobody in the skid steer because it went straight back there. But it seemed to have held its position pretty good and the glass isn't broken, so I'd call that a win. I still don't know if this piece is going to fit on here, but let's try it. The biggest problem I'm having right now is this box is still shifted to the right a little bit, so I need to shift it back that way. It's not a whole lot. The top is like 3/16 from working. The bottom is like 7/16, a half an inch from working, so we need to probably just grab the bottom of this box, pull it that way. I know it's going to break the seals even more than it already has, but that's kind of what we need to do to make this work. I'm almost thinking I need to figure something out with these mounts, because at this point it would be easier to move these mounts or even just hollow out the holes. Might just put 2 bolts in here for now. I don't know, it's not the proper thing to do, but 2 top bolts will fit right now. So, and this thing is just a cover. You know, I could do some work and make that one go through, but I really don't think it really matters. I might actually be able to get the other one on over here too. 3 out of 4 bolts. I could live with that. 3 out of 4 bolts. I'm living with that. Next. I think the next thing is this, which is probably going to be even harder than that was, honestly, because I can't take this piece off. So, and it's like a double wall, so the only way I can see this happening is welding on some nuts using a slide hammer, lots and lots of force, and I know I'm not gonna get it perfect, but maybe I can get it better. I feel like the only way to really make this right is to cut out this whole section and just replace the steel there. I just feel like there's not really another great way to do it. Alright, so I got a lot of tack welds. Some of it's solid welded, but you know, this MIG welder is just too heavy for this. This is 16 gauge, and I got a Lincoln 180 with 0.035 wire. It's just too heavy for this. What does a really good job is if you use 0.025 in a Lincoln 140, which is a 120 volt welder. I have one, but it's kind of broken right now, so I gotta get a new one of these days. It's perfect for stuff like this. I can get a nice clean weld. But anyways, I'm gonna grind all these welds down and then I'll Bondo it in so you won't ever know the difference. One thing I do need to do is bend this lip around like they have down here. They got a lip that's like about 3/8 of an inch wide. So I left a little bit just to do that with, but it's gonna be kind of hard to do that. So what I'm thinking is I'll weld a piece of steel on here, tack weld a bunch of tack welds onto here, and then I'll use this steel as leverage to bend around. I think that's the only way I'm going to be able to accomplish this.
Let my ears die while you're here.
Can you sand that down?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
You know, I kind of don't know if this tapers in like this, like it's supposed to do that or not. I'm not really sure. I guess the only way to find out is put this panel back, but I'm not trying to do that right now. I think if I do need to bend that out, I can just bend it without too much of a big deal. I don't think it's going to affect anything I'm doing here. But while this is drying, I want to try to fit this piece that goes in here, and I'm noticing that it's got these clips, which I don't have. So I'm hoping I can get those at an auto parts store, or it even comes with some. I'm not really sure. I know that I'm gonna have to probably bend this. Hopefully that's it. So cool, it comes with the new clips. That's awesome. I guess it covers quite a bit of the glass. I didn't realize that. So I guess I gotta get these old clips out. But I don't want to click it in yet, because then I'll probably break the clips to get it back out. And I need to sand this area here and paint it. So I guess we gotta wait on that. This is already hard, but it's not quite ready to sand yet. So I guess the only other thing I could do in this area while I'm waiting is get the other panel that goes here bent back into shape the best I can. And then there was also the grate on the top that I could get bent back into shape. I don't know, it's not perfect, but it's definitely a lot better. I think I'm gonna leave it. I could Bondo it and make it perfect. Well, yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if I can make it perfect with Bondo, but I can make it better. Or I could just leave it alone and maybe possibly order a new door. Because it was surprisingly cheap for these two other things. I bought that piece from the dealer for $100, and then I bought I think that one was $200, which may seem crazy, but from the dealer, I don't think that's crazy at all. That's the original piece that goes in there. Same with that. That's just plastic, and that's steel. Some of you may not agree with the way that I work here. The way that I work is I just blast through and get stuff done. Tools and materials just go flying, but things get done, and then I clean up afterwards. Some people, they like to take time while they're doing something, and every 15 minutes they'll clean up a little bit. I'm not like that. I just don't do that. So I end up with a little bit of a clutter. I sort of scooch things out of the way, but I get stuff done, and that's all that matters. And it does get cleaned up, so that matters too. Well, it's not perfect, but definitely a lot better than it was before. I don't know why this counterweight is sticking out so much further. I tried to adjust this as far out as I could, but that's it. So I think maybe something's tweaked in there a little bit. I don't know why there's an uneven gap here either. I suppose I could adjust that a little bit, but it's not going to adjust all the way. And then, of course, I think this panel was meant to be bent out. Well, maybe not actually. Look at that. That kind of contour. So maybe it's the way it's supposed to be. I'm not totally satisfied with that, but that looks great, and that looks great. Let's take a step back. Now it looks great, except for the paint and the decals and the dents and everything else. But it looks great compared to before. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to imagine what it looked like before, but yeah, it was pretty bad. This definitely looks a lot better. So the next thing I want to work on this machine is going to be this cylinder. I got to repack it because it's weeping here. It's not really bad, but it's enough where I want to tackle it now. So I think to get this gland cap off, I just need to bend this little piece of steel down, and then this should be able to come out. There's 3 of these tabs, and only one of them is actually punched up. So I think I just need to bend that down, then I can twist this off. We can drop that down and just do the work right here. I'm not taking the cylinder out, I'm just taking the top of it down, and then I'll rebuild it from there. Very hot.
What?
That is indeed very hot. Not so much anymore though.
What?
Look at that. That's 1/2 inch steel right there. The thing is like 2 feet long. If that doesn't do it, then I'm probably sending this to a hydraulic shop. At this point, I think maybe I should weld something on the top of this to hold it.
This is a 2,000-pound winch.
Yeah. It's moving my bucket.
I think that did it.
Oh, I got it.
It's turning. That's what that was. Huh.
Oh, I guess I got it.
Look at that. I broke it more than anything.
So I'm going to pull the guts out of this cylinder just the way it is. I'm going to drop it down from the top. I'm going to take that pin out and drop it down. But to do that, you make a lot of mess. And so I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to follow these hoses back to the pump. I'm going to cap and plug them at the pump. Then I'm going to pull them through so that these hoses are out here. I'm going to put a bucket or barrel down here so that the hoses go right into the bucket or barrel. And then we'll get all the fluid out that way instead of trying to get it. If I unhook these from right here, we're trying to get it right here, and it doesn't really work that great because what ends up happening is you're moving the cylinder as you're trying to work it, and then the mess just moves all over the place, and trying to contain it is not easy. So what I'm thinking is if we have the hoses, we drop them down there, and then that way even when this is pivoting, the hoses will stay in the bucket and keep extracting the fluid like that. Want to hand me that JIC kit? Oh no, it's a flat face O-ring. Well, I got plenty of those. Dear God. Okay, yeah, that's flat face O-ring. All right, I got a new flat face O-ring kit. If you want to hand me that. ORFS, that is JIC. I also have BSPP, which my other John Deere Mini Excavator is BSPP for most everything, I think, anyways, if I remember correctly. It's nice to have these kits though. Comes right out. I don't think I'm going to drive it out that far. I'm just going to drive it out far enough for it to drop.
Okay.
It appears that there's Oh, look at a rod is coming down. Shims are coming out. Things are happening. Look at that. The mess is contained. And the rod's coming down by itself. That's what you want.
You have the problem once it gets below that ratchet strap though,
Yeah.
which is going to be in about 2 seconds.
Yeah, well luckily it'll be a lot lighter. But that ratchet strap should stop it. The eye will stop it from going down too far. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, it's got like a little notch there. Should do it, hopefully. Maybe not. I don't know. I think we should start making accommodations.
Just walking down the room.
No, it can't because it's clipped up there. It's doing stuff. It stopped doing stuff. At least it's a lot lighter now.
There's this guy around here that likes to ruin needles on those things.
Yeah, that's me. I like to weld with them.
Now you're never going to use a 35.
So we need to probably aim it.
That worked.
Scratch up the floor a little bit. Alright.
First of many.
Hey, my duct tape held too. Look at that. Now I gotta get that nut off. I'm almost thinking I should put this thing back into that pin up there. Take that nut off. Let's see if I can get the set screw off here. There we go. Feels like it's got Loctite on it. Oh. It's getting harder. Good like that? Right now. Hold on.
tight now.
Yep. Not my finger tight. It's still hot. These are for. That's kind of confusing. So our leak is going to be caused by this gland seal in here. There's actually a few of them. I'm not sure which one it would be, but okay, so this is really kind of weird. This is the old seal that goes on the bottom first. And this is the new seal, and it's got like a step in it. And this seal, which I don't have any other place to put it, conveniently fits right in that step. It's got a slightly different shape on both sides. I don't know which side goes down. There's no directions. If you read in the manual for this Deere ADC, you can go to a section called hydraulic cylinder rebuilding. Specifically the boom cylinder rebuild. And basically what it says is, good luck. It's very heavy, and it's 200 pounds, and that's it. And the funny part of that is, I know this cylinder is a lot more than 200 pounds, so they're not even truthful about that. Sometimes these companies make me really mad about this stuff. They obviously don't want you working on your own machine. You're supposed to bring it to a dealer. That's why this gland nut was ridiculously tight, even though it had a mechanism so that it could not back out. And then the rod nut was ridiculously tight as well, and that also had a set screw. There was no reason for that. They just figure that you'll get into it and then you'll have to bring it to the dealer. So at this point, I don't really know. I'm just gonna kind of roll the dice here, and hopefully I can put this in. This seems really brittle. This doesn't seem brittle, but this does. Hopefully I can put that in there in a way where it doesn't break. Actually, you know what? I think I could probably put it in there afterwards. Let me just get this one in there. One of these days I gotta get one of those tools that you sort of wind up the seal and put it in there. It'd be nice. That's maybe not as bad as I made it out to be, but still. Use the old seal to get this dust seal started. That should do the trick. Alright, so that was the leaking part for sure. If you have a leaking cylinder leaking out of the top, this is the only place where it's going to leak. All these other seals don't really matter, but we have them, so let's put them in. So we can start with these easy ones here. Okay, all three of these are different sizes, so now I got to figure out which one is the actual backup ring for here. Definitely not that one. Looks to be this one. Again with the O-rings, just about the same size, all the same thickness, just different size diameter. It's not going to be that one. Could be this one, but that appears to be the one. Alright, so the gland nut is rebuilt. Let's put that aside. This stuff, believe it or not, is still super hot. That was like half hour, 40 minutes ago that I took that out. It's too hot to touch, especially this, and then the nut is too. So we've already got these two off. Here's the two new ones. That's rubber, but it's like a really hard rubber. I don't know how that's supposed to go on there, honestly. The only thing I can think of is heating it up. Kind of too hot to handle now. It seems like it makes a little bit of a difference, but I don't know. If I take the old one out, I might be in a bad position. I'm gonna let that cool a second. Everything I had to get that in there, but it's not in its resting spot either. Pretty much need to do that fight all over again to get it in the middle there. I feel like I should just cut that and make it a lot easier. Go. Oh wow, there's another piece in there. Oh, that's that big O-ring here. Look at that. Huh. All right. Okay. Okay, that's not cool. Now that piece is definitely stretched out. I'm not liking that at all. Now, I'm just going to put these other... I'm just going to put this together, and I'm going to stick this in the freezer. So, what do we got left? We got this. Okay, that's not exactly the best thing. These two are different sizes. They should be the same size, because these are the same size. That is that one. Might have to reuse one of the old ones. Yeah, it definitely doesn't work. Look at that. Well, luckily these don't seal anything. They're just, they kind of give it like a space so that the O-ring can't crush too much. So the freezer did not cure this issue, so I'm gonna wrap some tape around this and then I'm gonna put a piston clamp on it. Yeah, it's still sticking out a little bit. Go in more straight. I think you're hitting the bushing on the side.
Yo, this is really heavy.
Yeah. All right, stop. All right, bub, get down safely, please.
Oh, that pin? Oh, you have to take that whole hydraulic out? That's probably like 200 pounds right there. Less than a half ton. Oh my God.
This is the hard part.
Push it in?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh wow, I got it. Hold on, I think I got it. Wasn't that easy?
Oh, you do got it.
Yeah, it doesn't leak no more. So I'm trying to fix the heat and AC on this. The blower motor doesn't work. I already diagnosed it somewhat off camera. This is the wires going to the blower motor. The blower motor is getting voltage to it, but it's not doing anything. So I don't think it's a resistor or anything, or a thermofuse or anything like that. I think I just need to get to the blower motor itself. So I've already taken the seat out. Now I just need to take off a bunch of these cover plates to get to it. That's a sight for sore eyes. I don't know how much I edited for you guys, but that was a lot of work to get here. Hopefully this blower motor comes out a lot easier. Dead. Yeah, I got 24 volts going to it, but it's not doing anything. This whole upper half here should come off. It's just not. No, that's not a separate part of it. I may just kind of get this up enough for now just to take this motor out. I'm not taking this whole top cover off. There's like clamps that go around the AC lines that you can only get from the side with a Phillips. I'm not trying to do all that. I'm gonna do just enough to get this motor out. The culprit. Man, that was a lot of work to get to that. Alright, so here we are a couple days later. Got the new blower motor. I tested it out, it works great, so let's put it back in. So I gotta reuse this old insulation. It's like a rubber type of deal. Got like little holes, and it kind of snaps into place. There we go. That kind of secures this. There's really nothing else that holds it besides just like pressure on this. There we go. Right, before I put any screws in here, I want to make sure nothing's rubbing. So let's try putting that on. Yep, that's not what I wanted. Something's hitting somewhere else. Right into place. I don't understand that. It's almost like this housing is like tweaked a little bit. Alright, so I had to take this and put some shims on this side to make this turbine part extend that way just a little bit because it was hitting on the housing on this part of it. So I don't know why I had to do that, but that's what needed to be done. So hopefully it'll fit without any further adjustments. Hopefully that was the only part that was rubbing. I don't know. As soon as you put pressure down on it, it just finally got it. I had to do a lot of different shimming and shaving. Like barely skimming the side right now, but it's working. So. Alright, so throughout this process, I'm going to keep trying this fan just to make sure something's not hitting it before I put this all back together. So... something was hitting it a little bit, but I think we'll be fine. Oh, cool. Okay, so now the variable speed is working. I guess that must have been this right here, because as soon as I plug this in, then the variable speed was working. That must be the resistor. Alright, so a few days ago I got everything all wrapped up in there. There's a lot of stuff that I had to put back inside of here. That was actually a really big project to get the blower motor working for the heat and AC, but check this out. AC on. Already cold. Takes like 20 seconds for this to get cold. That's freezing cold right now. That is absolutely awesome. I can't believe how quickly it gets cold too. And this is a small cat, so it's gonna cool off very quickly. But also, now I have heat too. So it's really nice. This has like a climate control where you can just set the temperature and it heats or cools it depending on whatever it needs. I have to read the manual to try to get it back to Fahrenheit though, because right now it's in Celsius. I'm assuming there's a way to switch it back, but anyways, at this point right now, the only other thing that I need to do to this machine to bring it to the next job is going to be to put a thumb on it. So I just picked up the thumb from the terminal. It's sitting in this box right here. I also got the hoses for it, so let's go ahead and put that on. For some reason I thought it was yellow, but I like black better.
Yeah, it looks pretty stout, I can say that.
Yep. Bedrock attachments.
That'll pick up a thing or two.
Yep.
is light. Hold on. I'm gonna reposition. Oh God. Oh God. It's doing dumb things.
If I put these shims in here, and then you put that pin in just far enough to hold those shims. And then you can get this aligned and then get it started in the quick coupler.
Where you want it to be. Okay. And then I gotta shift that way a little bit. And that should be it. Nope, that's not gonna. I guess it doesn't take much to hold it. God,
But he was holding it.
I had it.
So before I go crazy welding this up, I just got 4 tack welds on there, about 1 inch, and I want to hook the hydraulics up and just move everything around the way it's supposed to be, so that in case something's not right, I don't have to take off miles of weld around there. So I believe what this is a number 10 O-ring face seal. So there's a little O-ring that goes in there, and number 10 stands for 10/16, which is 5/8. So this machine didn't come with any quick couplers, they just had it directly hooked up, and these are 1/2 inch hoses, which I don't know if that's enough for a hammer, which I do want to get for this machine. I'm sure it's enough for this thumb, but I probably will be changing this out eventually. The line's going all the way back. There actually isn't any hard lines for this auxiliary hydraulics, it's all rubber. And actually there's a joint right there, there's a coupler. So for right now we'll work with it and we'll kind of see how things go, but eventually I'll replace that. But for now I just got some quick couplers that'll adapt to this, and then if I have to adapt to a bigger line later on, I can do that. So I thought the best way to approach this was to get a 2-foot hose and a 3-foot hose. And the 2-foot hose can go on this side and make a loop around. And then the 3-foot hose can go on that side. And somehow we gotta make a loop around. I'm not totally sure yet, but let's get it hooked up to the cylinder first and we'll kind of work backwards. So that's probably better than I thought it was going to be. Maybe I'll weld 2 mounts on to hold these flat like this. I think that would make a big difference, just not having them flop out. But I think it's good for right now. I did have to push a bunch of the hose back, so I'm thinking that maybe we'll just keep pushing that all the way back into the machine so that it's kind of maybe coiled up in there a little bit. Just for now until we get things figured out better with this system, because I'm realizing that even though this is 1/2-inch hose here, the fittings on the end of it are only 1/4 of an inch. So that's not very much flow. It'll probably be all right for this because I don't really care about this thumb going really fast, but it's definitely not going to do a jackhammer or any other kind of attachment. I guess it was fine for the tilt bucket, but yeah, we'll change that out. But I'll order that online, because if I got these 2 hoses locally today, it would have cost me an extra $1,000 at least. Because just this right here for these quick couplers and these 2 lines right here to go to this cylinder was almost $600. So I'm trying not to get anything locally unless I absolutely have to. And I don't have to get those locally. I can order them online. Or I could even wait for a little while and get my hose crimper set up, and then I can do it myself. But anyways, I'm going to let go of that strap. I'm going to let that thumb go down, and then we'll try it out real quick without putting too much pressure on it. I'd say everything works fine, and I'm really surprised on how fast it goes with that 1/4-inch restriction right there. That thumb goes a lot faster than I thought. It goes faster than I need it. I don't need it to go that fast. The nice thing about the pedal is that you can control it. It's modulating, you know, it's not just on or off. Like if you had a button, it would be on or off. Some buttons do allow you to have like a pressure sensitive touch, but anything that I'm gonna get for this machine is probably not. It's probably gonna be on and off. So having the option for the foot is nice because you can feather it. especially when it goes that fast. And the machine was barely above idle, so I'm sure once it's turned up, it's going to be even faster. But let's get this all burned in here, and then I'm dying to go try this out. So that thumb definitely does the trick. I like it. With the curve right there and these side cutters, it locks the logs right into place, which is probably half the reason I got this thumb, is for moving logs and trees and stuff. The other half is rocks, but rocks can be all kinds of shapes. But overall, yes, I'm very happy with this machine. It's perfect for what I need. I've been looking for one like this for a while. It was the right price, all in with the thumb and all the stuff that I did to the machine. Everything in, I got just under 20 grand, which you're not going to find a machine that's this new with air conditioning, a hydraulic thumb, a blade, steel tracks for less than 30 grand. So I'm probably about 10 grand ahead of the game right now. But I'm not going to sell this machine. I like to use it for a while. Like I said, I'm not really a fan of Deere. I just always find some pretty good deals on them, so I'm not going to turn them down. I was really looking for like a Komatsu PC78 or like a Cat 308. Those are the two machines that I was really looking hard at, but this one came along and it was the right price, and that's it. I took it. I was also looking at a Kobelco CS80. I was looking for about 70 to 80 size machine, and this just fit the bill, so I got it. So you guys are definitely gonna see this in more videos. Like I said, I have several jobs, pretty big jobs actually, lined up for this. And what's nice about this machine is I don't need my lowboy to move it. I can use my deck over trailer with my dump truck. It's the perfect size machine for that. And that opens up a lot of opportunities, because it's a real pain to get that lowboy into some places. Like most residential houses, you can't pull up with that. You got to pull up on the street and then get the machine off in the road and then track it in. So it's nice to be able to use that deck over trailer, because I can go anywheres with that. So that was the purpose of this machine, was to be able to use the deck over trailer, and just in general, just have a little bit smaller of a machine to fit in places. Like I said, these two jobs, the two big jobs that I have coming up, pretty much need this size machine and no bigger. And really not any smaller too, because otherwise it'd take forever. Somewhere between a 70 and 90 size machine would be perfect for these two jobs that I have coming up. And in general, like I said, it's just a good machine between my mini excavator and my big excavator. And my mini, I hardly ever use that anymore. Once you start using bigger excavators, those smaller ones, just, you kind of like lose patience because they don't move enough dirt. But this one definitely moves enough dirt for what I need. And just so you guys know, I bought this thumb from Bedrock Attachments, and like I said, I'm really happy with it. And I have another thumb on my 130 from them, and I'm really happy with that as well. I have no complaints whatsoever. And I did a lot of checking around for a thumb even before I got the machine, because I knew I would need one. And so I did quite a bit of research, and these guys actually had the most reasonable price out of everybody. I think I paid $2,100 for this plus shipping, and the cheapest from anybody else I found was like 3 grand, a little over 3 grand for a thumb like this, and they went up to 6 grand. I don't use the machine enough to consider something really high priced, and to be honest with you, I don't know if there was a whole lot of difference, because this is all I need. I can tell everything on it is welded good, it's painted good, it's stout. The cylinder especially is more cylinder than you really need for this machine, and the shipping was pretty fast too. So if you guys are in the market for attachments, not just thumbs, but also attachments for skid steers and bigger excavators and graders, loaders, dozers, they have all kinds of attachments there. And they go up to some really big size machines with some of their parts that they got there. Some of those machines are industrial size machines that they supply attachments for. And not just attachments, they also carry all kinds of different stuff, like cab protectors for bigger machines and odds and ends like that. So I'll leave a link in the description for their website, and you guys can check them out. And they don't list the prices on the website anymore, but there's a trick to that. If you want to see the price of something right away without having to call them, like if it's a night or a weekend or something, you want to know the price, find the model of what you want, and then go back to Google and type that in Google with Bedrock Attachments next to it, and it will come up with the price right there on Google before you even click on it. It'll be on the lower left hand corner. So that's a little trick for you. So I'm kind of on an excavator rampage right now. That's all I'll say for right now, but so I'll see you guys on the next video. Oh, did you catch that?
Yeah. I got it.
All by yourself?
Yeah.
Nice.
Got 2 other small ones.
You gonna go ahead and put him back?
Yeah.
Okay. Say bye-bye, fishy.
Bye. What's right there?
Oh yeah, he's still there. Look at that. There he goes.
Is that him? He just did that. I saw it like there. Yeah, he reels it in to like right there and he goes, I got one, I got one, I got one. And,
Yeah, sometimes he actually does have one.
What?
He's surprising with that.
Yeah. Well, not.
All right, let me see your best cast.
He casts really far.
Nice. You almost got the island.
I like this, and I wiggle it. And wheel it in.
Wheel it in, wheel it in. Oh, you almost
God
got,
dang it.
you basically got the island there.
Gosh darn, man. Wait, I just got the island?
Yeah, you caught the island. Let's see if you can reel in the whole island.
Quiet. I caught the island. Did that go cast?
That's a good cast.